can we expect from Devin, you know, going up at 147? There's a lot of needle, I guess, between the pair of you. I guess from what you've seen in camp.
Hey, listen, an exciting Devin Haney. Let's sit it right there. I just told you is that if you don't want to fight, then you don't want to fight. There's no clauses, there's no tensions, there's no nothing.
Yeah. He just capping for like social media. Like he not gonna be like realistic about the situation.
Bill Haney has delivered a direct message to Shakur Stevenson after news emerged that a matchup between Devin Haney and Shakur has reportedly been finalized.
Stevenson, Shakur Stevenson.
I told y'all Dev will beat the shit out of Shakur Stevenson.
Yes, but did you talk to Turkey Al-Sheik?
He gonna beat Rockstar Shakur?
Beat the shit out of Shakur.
Rockstar, he gonna beat the shit out of Rockstar Shakur Stevenson. Beat the shit.
Shakur's no different than everybody else. They're all really good. Devin is special. He has the style, he has the confidence, he has the ability to knock in a way that he's able to fight all of them, and he fares a great chance against all of them. That's something that's special.
Haney emphasized with confidence that Stevenson will be up against top-tier speed, defensive skill, and proven championship experience, vowing a full-strength challenge that will reveal any vulnerabilities when the fight takes place under the global spotlight.
I want your thoughts on Shakur saying he not fighting Dev unless he got a rehydration clause.
Shakur, man, honestly, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I can pop it on channels and like that and do that, you know what I mean? And we can have fun with it. But, you know, over here on the Boxing Voice, right, I want to ask, in or around the division, every bad motherfucker around Devin has gotten an offer to fight, or they've been in the ring, or, I mean, who else has that happened with? All the fights that the people want to see Devin fight, the person that got either a contract or Devin and got in the ring with him. Can we say that about anybody else?
The highly anticipated showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney has evolved into one of boxing's most discussed potential super fights, with talks and background developments dating back several years.
Was that ever something that you wanted to consider though? Like, also, because I think people say this narrative was like, yo, if you know you could beat him, just fight him.
Yeah, but why would I fight this nigga for the least money that I could get when it's like, okay, cool, let's go through the WBC, because that's what I did that they're trying to ignore. Right. They gonna ignore that whole part. I said, WBC, y'all do y'all job, enforce the fight, and we're gonna do it that way. They gave him the deadline to figure out was he gonna fight me or fight Regis. That man decided to move up. Yeah. But I really made the WBC do their job. That's what it really came down to. And whatever finish that they was gonna offer, that's what it was gonna be at the end of the day.
So if they would have came back and said 75-25, would you
I would have had no choice. I just try to go around the bullshit that was presented, because that's bullshit. Like, I'm a 2-division world champ. I unified at 130 in one of the biggest fights at 130 pounds. Like, if we're gonna be realistic.
Stevenson has made it clear that if a fight at 147 pounds takes place, it would include strict weight regulations following the official weigh-in.
Want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clause. I don't even do that. But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on going there? So any of y'all want to fight me at 147?
Yeah, rehydration.
10 pounds.
10-pound rehydration. Like the IBF rule, basically.
You got to understand, that means on fight night, when we get in the ring, they're going to be 157, maybe 158.
Max.
No bigger than 160 that night.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
So if we could get it like, all right, like the IBF rule, 10-pound rehydration.
Yes, but think about it. If there's no rehydration clause, these guys going to get it up to 170 pounds.
Yeah, 175.
I'm in the 140s on fight night.
Yeah.
So if I'm 140, they 170. Bro, what am I in here wrestling around with these?
Right.
Bill Haney has taken a firm position on rehydration rules, stating that he will not agree to any restrictions for Devin Haney's bouts, a stance that could directly affect negotiations if Shakur Stevenson insists on including such a clause in the agreement.
The list, is that a fight you guys are seeking, or are you leaving it alone since he's saying that it would require Devin to get a rehydration clause. Is that something you're willing to get on the phone and discuss how many pounds exactly?
Well, when you're speaking about Debo, you might hear a whole lot of that's inconsistent with things that you say about normal fighters. When you talk about a generational talent like Dev, you would expect those that are elite to look to have, to be on a level playing field. What you weigh is what you weigh, and how you get down the next day is, it's what it's all about, and that's what that.
Bill Haney has stated unequivocally that he has no interest in discussing catchweight conditions for a potential fight featuring his son, Devin Haney. This position aligns with his broader refusal to accept rehydration rules or weight restrictions that might reduce Devin's natural size advantage.
Do a catchweight, which is what he wants to put on. Not a catchweight, but a rehydration, which is what he said it would require in order for him to fight Devin.
No, what he said was that he doesn't do any negotiation. He has a management team that does it. And let's just stay and keep it right there. Everything that he's saying, he's not going to 100% stand on it, because he says he doesn't negotiate against himself and refers back to his team. So I can't take any of that serious, especially, like I said, given an opportunity that you understand that he says that based on Conor Benn doing something that he felt might be unfair and putting it on Chris Eubank is what he's saying that he might do to.
Bruce Crichton expressed his view that Shakur Stevenson could outmaneuver Devin Haney by managing distance, timing, and angles. Crichton believes Stevenson's footwork, defensive skills, and ring intelligence would counter Haney's jab, reduce trading, and transform the bout into a strategic, technical battle.
Who would you favor at 147 between him and Devin? Shakur.
That's a tough fight. I like both of those styles together, but I do think that Shakur is just more defensively aware, sound and aware. It's possible that Shakur may win that fight. I feel like he's a problem for a lot of guys because of his style. But Devin and both of those styles together, that's a great mashup. And I don't know. That's actually a really good fight. I genuinely don't know.
Many analysts believe Shakur Stevenson has everything needed to emerge as boxing's next major star, combining technical precision, defensive expertise, and outstanding ring IQ, qualities that could elevate the sport as fans grow to value skill and strategy over raw punching power.
Devin Haney, Conor Benn, there's a lot of fights that Shakur can be involved in and beat all these dudes, man. Beat all of them. Has a chance of beating all of them, right? And solidifying, his mark in the sport. Being, the great of his generation. When Crawford left, I told y'all that, Shakur was the next guy on the throne. And I truly wholeheartedly still believe that. I know there's guys that has worked with Shakur in the past that swear up and down. Oh, I even forgot Murataya. Murataya's there too. Guys like Andy Cruz. I mean, there's a lot of talented guys that people respect that Shakur has the ability to freaking challenge.
Stevenson's disciplined style and sharp ring awareness distinguish him from his peers, positioning him as a potential key figure in boxing's future, especially as he continues to secure major wins while keeping his undefeated streak intact.
And him fighting all those guys and putting that on his resume, man. We talking about legendary status. We talking about Mount Rushmore type of stuff, because all these guys are the elite guys of this generation and people respect them. And if Shakur was to beat them, he's going to definitely make his mark heavy in the sport and become extremely popular, even more popular than what Terrence Crawford is right now, and I feel like Shakur can be that face of American boxing that, we've always had. We have Floyd Mayweather. I think he can be as popular as Floyd Mayweather, if not more popular than Floyd Mayweather. you know. So I don't know, man. Guys, you know, tell me what you think. You know, am I tripping? But there's a lot of potential matchup for Shakur that can really grow his star.
A showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney has the makings of a true mega fight, bringing together two of boxing's brightest talents. Both undefeated and technically exceptional, with a strong drive to secure their legacies. The bout would highlight elite skill, tactical mastery, and high-stakes excitement, capturing global attention and potentially ushering in a new era for the sport.
Confirms what I've been saying. 3-division world champion, former undisputed lightweight, former WBC junior welterweight, and reigning WBO welterweight world champion, first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires, superstar boxer, top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, Devin "The Dream" Haney, 33 wins, no loss and no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. He calls out another first ballot Hall of Famer of his era. Ironically enough, Devin Haney is 27, and the person he calls out is 28 years old, who's another first ballot Hall of Famer, Olympic silver medalist, 4-division world champion, former unified super featherweight, who simultaneously up until yesterday held the WBC 135-pound title and the WBO 140-pound junior welterweight title. At the same time, superstar boxer, 4-division champion, who will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Shakur Stevenson, who is 25 wins, no losses, no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout. So Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, as I said, and Devin Haney confirmed it as you see there, this is the next super fight in the sport of boxing.
Devin Haney has solidified his reputation as one of boxing's most technically advanced fighters, earning praise for his lightning-quick reflexes, precise accuracy, and methodical ring approach. Observers frequently highlight his ability to control the pace of a fight, adjust to his opponents, and stay composed under pressure, traits that make him a serious challenge for anyone in the division. Analysts like Bernie have pointed out that Haney's mix of speed, strategy, and discipline makes him a true test even for the sport's most decorated champions. When paired with Shakur Stevenson, the potential showdown gains even more weight. Both fighters offer elite-level skill, sharp boxing intelligence, and a strong drive to secure their legacies. That a fight between them wouldn't just be a battle of talent, it would be a defining moment that could shape the course of their careers. Bernie noted that such a matchup would highlight advanced strategy, resilience, and technical mastery, making it an essential watch for boxing fans around the world.
Because now Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion. So he's a 2-time Ring Magazine winner. 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring, as far as with the WBO, he was unified at 130. So he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion. Beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion. Had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion, and that was it. He was in his prime too, Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140. Not taking away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47, they were saying. Lomachenko was a little older and smaller. So, they about even in terms of that.
Greg Hackett has suggested that Shakur Stevenson is intentionally avoiding a matchup with Devin Haney because he recognizes that Haney possesses a comparable elite skill set. Hackett points out that Haney's speed, defensive ability, discipline, and ring IQ closely mirror Stevenson's own strengths, effectively eliminating the stylistic advantages Shakur typically relies on. Hackett explained that Stevenson usually thrives against opponents who are slower or more aggressive, giving him control over distance and pacing. Haney, however, would demand a high-level tactical battle, with no simple openings. He noted that the risk-to-reward ratio heavily favors Haney, as Shakur would face a fighter capable of matching him both technically and mentally for all 12 rounds, making the bout far more challenging than many fans might anticipate.
Fight. He knows Dev has something for him, but he got something for Dev. It's a great fight. He know he could possibly lose to Dev. There's things that Dev understand about boxing that Shakur understand, and he wouldn't be able to just take full advantage of Devin Haney. You know what I mean? They both got an education. That's what I'm saying. This comes down to education. That's why Floyd and them used to yell, skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? You got to really be in the gym working on your skills package. A lot of these dudes ain't working like they think they working. You know what I'm saying? They in the gym, they sweating, you know what I mean? They working hard, but the information that's being transferred to them is bullshit information, and it's showing in the fights. But who am I?
Armsy, think of the 5-piece. Why everybody want to see Shakur and Devin when Keyshawn called him out?
All of those is great fights. I want to see him.
Many analysts argue that Shakur Stevenson isn't avoiding Devin Haney, but is instead seeking bigger challenges that could strengthen his legacy. Reports suggest Stevenson has explored a potential fight with Conor Benn, highlighting his focus on high-profile, career-defining matchups rather than taking the next available opponent. This strategy reflects careful planning. Stevenson seems to be prioritizing long-term impact over immediate bouts, selecting opponents who can both test his abilities at the highest level and enhance his reputation. By aiming for marquee fights with high stakes, he shows a willingness to step into contests that could define his career instead of chasing easier victories. This approach has sparked debate within the boxing community. Some admire his ambition and long-term vision for building a lasting legacy, while others question whether delaying certain matchups might unnecessarily slow his path to defining fights.
Let's talk about this Shakur and Conor Benn thing. Shakur's been getting a lot of flack because fans feel like that Shakur is ducking Devin Haney. How do I feel about Shakur ducking Devin Haney? I don't think it's true. I don't think it's a thing. Shakur said he's going to go up, put a rehydration clause on the man to fight him. Is Devin Haney going to take a rehydration clause to fight? If not, I don't think so. So why are we even having the debate about him fighting Devin? It's not like he's fighting a champion to get a random accolade like a belt or something, you know? So it's really irrelevant to even bring up why Shakur is not fighting Devin. He's fighting Conor Benn because he feels like he needs to fight Conor Benn because he disrespected him or whatever the case may be. It's really nothing to it. Fans are trying to put Devin and Shakur against each other. I would love to see the fight, but it's whatever.
Shakur Stevenson has made it clear that he aims to accomplish major feats in boxing and isn't intimidated by challenging opponents. Addressing critics who question his height and suggest he may struggle at 147 pounds against fighters like Devin Haney or Conor Benn, Stevenson responded with calm confidence and determination, but he stressed that physical size alone won't dictate his success, pointing instead to his skill, speed, defensive expertise, and ring intelligence as the tools that allow him to compete at the highest level. Regardless of stature, Stevenson's approach reflects a focus on strategy, preparation, and adaptability, showing he is ready to face elite opponents to cement his legacy. By directly confronting doubters and outlining his plans for high-profile, career-defining fights, he demonstrates not only confidence but a clear vision for his future, making it evident that he intends to silence critics and leave a lasting mark on the court.
The big fights. I like big fights. I like big money fights. I like proving that I'm the best, and I like doing things that people say I can't do. There's a lot of people that will say that I'm too little for Conor Benn, and I can't do it. So it makes for a tremendous fight. It's gonna be a good beef. I like the beef. I like the story behind it, and it's a tremendous fight.
Just wanted to follow up on the Conor Benn conversation. I saw him after the fight, and I just asked him. I said, "Hey, would you agree to that rehydration clause?" And he said, "F no." So my question for you is, how does that fight get made then?
If he's not going to agree, then we probably don't fight. So he's just wasting time. We'll see. But I'm a businessman at the end of the day. And like I said, he did a rehydration clause with Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank was in the ring half. Why can't he do this?
Following his impressive recent win, Keyshawn Davis has stepped into the spotlight and called out Devin Haney, signaling his readiness to challenge one of boxing's top talents. Davis, known for his fast combinations, quickness, and relentless pressure, made it clear that he considers himself a legitimate contender capable of testing Haney at the highest level. By issuing this public challenge, Davis is positioning himself as a fighter willing to take risks and pursue high-profile matchups that could define his career. Analysts point out that Davis's skill set makes him a serious threat for any champion, including Haney. The call-out has generated excitement among fans eager to see how Davis's aggressive approach would clash with Haney's technical precision. If the fight comes together, it promises to be a high-stakes battle with potential title implications and major career consequences for both fighters.
Already a bright enough star that he'd be willing to take, because, you know, as a businessman, risk reward, You think you bring enough to the table that he'd want to take the fight? He would take the fight?
Hopefully, bro. I hope he would take the fight. In terms of answering your question, a bright enough star, he's already entertaining me on Twitter and social media and stuff like that. So I guess he sees some money potential in this fight right here. But what I would like to do is I would like to become champion, because that just speaks for itself. Once I come to the champion with the table, you can't play with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know me. People know me. I can go to the UK and sell. Like, I can go anywhere and sell. My first main event, I sold 10,000 tickets. I sell, period. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's entertaining me, because I am a star. But when I come with that world title, whether I beat Dalton Smith or I go move up a weight and beat Lewis Crocker, once I come with them world titles, it's just a difference.
Devin Haney has stated that is ready to face Keyshawn Davis with no special conditions, reflecting his straightforward, no-nonsense approach to competition. His father and trainer, Bill Haney, reinforced this stance, noting that Devin prefers to fight at his natural weight rather than be limited by strict rehydration rules or catchweight agreements, a sharp contrast to reports regarding Shakur Stevenson's preference for structured weight management. Davis, meanwhile, has admitted to some lingering frustration toward Haney, recalling early encounters when he felt underestimated as a younger fighter. Despite that history, both men are now focused on the bigger picture, seizing opportunities, advancing their careers, and building their legacies. The dynamic between Haney and Davis underscores that boxing is about more than raw talent. It's also shaped by strategy, past experiences, and calculated choices. As these factors influence negotiations and fan interest, anticipation continues to build for a potential matchup that could have major implications for both fighters' futures and reputations in the sport.
Fight Keyshawn the Businessman Davis. As I said yesterday, he fights and beats Keyshawn, then guess what? It makes the fight with Shakur and Devin that much bigger, right? Because it's a redemption, it's a storyline, so on and so forth. Devin has history, sparring session. We know the history, right? So Devin Haney wants that fight, as we know. This is not a surprise. This is what Devin Haney does. No stipulations. As father, trainer, and manager Bill Haney stated yesterday on the Boxing Voice, he stated, why we have to have stipulations, roadblocks? We ain't trying to do that. Devin moved up, so he don't have to drain himself. Why would he have to drain himself, right? Nonetheless, Shakur wants a 10-pound rehydration clause. Keyshawn the Businessman Davis, as you're going to see right here, he explains why he don't like Devin Haney. Because, and people are asking me and sending me, and this is an old clip that Keyshawn did with Wallow and Gilly, and people are asking me my thoughts is resurfaced because obviously the Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis, a saga has started to kick.
Do you think Shakur Stevenson can finally outmaneuver Devin Haney, or will Haney's skill and strategy come out on top? Share your predictions in the comments below.